Welcome to Let the Music Set You Free, a monthly music hang with your host Katie Dobbins and special guests. Let the Music Set You Free showcases songwriters who are pursuing their creative calling and sharing their journey and music in hopes of inspiring others to embrace their passions as well. While music is the universal language that has the power to touch people unlike anything else, the reality is that many people need a helping hand beyond the power of music in order to move forward in their lives. In this series, songwriters are using their creativity to bring awareness and funds to organizations who provide tangible resources to people who need them. To support the cause, check out the donation link in the video description. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Thank you. Hey, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. How'd you like those virtual claps?
That was great. I was clapping along.
We know you're all clapping at home, and we just wanted to hear it, so. I am Katie, for anyone who doesn't know me, and this is Let the Music Set You Free. You are at the very first virtual show of this new series that I'm doing, so I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this all week. I'm just going to let everybody introduce themselves. So my musical guest tonight is Kev Moore. Kev, do you want to just tell us about your music and who you are?
Sure. My name's Kev. I do music around the Boston area and as a singer-songwriter. And much of my time I spend working with nonprofits, mostly with TuneFoolery, who you'll hear about soon. We bring live shows to shelters and psychiatric hospitals and group homes. And I spend a lot of time as an artist trying to advocate for mental illness via music.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And that's so important, what you do with mental health. So we'll get into that more too throughout the evening. And then, so Kev is my musical guest. And then tonight's show is benefiting an organization called TuneFoolery. And so we have Jens Rybo with us. Do you want to just tell us your role briefly at TuneFoolery? I know we'll get into it more in depth
Sure.
later.
Yeah. My name is Jens. I'm the executive director for TuneFoolery Music. And I've been in this position for 21 and a half years now. So I really like it. And TuneFoolery is an organization, like Kev was saying, for musicians in mental health recovery that really try to, use music as a way not only to heal, and support the recovery of our musicians, but also to bring, music to places like, shelters and hospitals and mental health programs all over.
That's so awesome. So I think I've definitely heard of TuneFoolery before, I think just through following Kev and your music. But I'm really excited to learn more about what you do. I've been watching some of your videos and stuff, and it's really, really cool work. So thanks so much for being here to talk about the organization. It's awesome.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah.
So for those of you watching from home, thanks so much. This is a free show, so no pressure. We just want you to enjoy. You're going to hear a mix of music and chit-chat this evening as we get to know more about Kev and more about TuneFoolery. If you would like to donate and support us as artists and this organization, there's a donation link in the description, and I'll put it up on the screen here and there if you do feel moved to do that. But let's get started with some music, shall we? I'll kick us off, and then I'll switch it over to you, Kev, afterwards. So,
Great.
All right, let's go. This is my first time toggling, too, between screens, so I'm feeling a little bit like a tech wizard. Exciting. This is a song called Photograph the Stars. It's one of those nights, so dark outside. I wish I could hide, but thank God for the moon. Oh, I wish that you could see this. capture the light is to look with my own eyes, hold it in my mind. I invite you to come, I invite you to come and share this. Come see this light, it burns so bright. Come see this light, it burns so bright. Come see this light, it burns so bright. Come see this light. Every time I try to photograph these stars, I'm left with nothing but a picture of the dark. The only way to capture these lights is to look with my own eyes, hold it in my mind. I invite you to come, I invite you to come.
That was so great.
Thanks. It's a song about, I guess, just like, I don't know, it's about some different things, but mostly it's just about being in the moment, you know, soaking it all in, because the picture is never going to do it justice. You just got to like be there.
It sounds very hopeful.
Thanks. That's definitely, I hope to be hopeful. All right, so if you're just tuning in, thanks so much for being here. This is Let the Music Set You Free. We've got some music. We've also got Jens, a representative from TuneFoolery, with us to talk about the organization that we are doing this for tonight. So next up, you're going to hear some music from Kev. Take it away.
Great, yeah. This is a song called Inspired, and it started as a guitar instrumental that I would do just to quiet my mind. And then, you know, I was inspired to put words to it, and it goes like this. Always knew I was looking, never thought I'd find what would make me whole. Never spend much time, and now there's something new I'm feeling here. Something good I wanna make it mine. She don't need to, but she still tries. I'm inspired by the look in her eyes. Don't need to, but she still tries. And I'm inspired by the look in her eyes. I've always been the quiet one, there's been nothing to say. Mind keeps on racing, thoughts of her all day. And now there's something new I'm feeling here. Something good, I wanna make it stay. I don't need to hear her say it. It shows in so many different ways. She don't need to, tries, and I'm inspired by the look in her eyes. Tries, and I'm inspired by the look in her eyes. Thank you.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to add us back in. Yay, that was so beautiful. That
Thanks
guitar
so
part is like so dreamy and catchy. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yeah, really beautiful. Yeah. All right, I'm going to, I guess I'm next.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's running this thing anyways? Okay, so a couple more songs for you. We'll keep with the music train, and then we're going to discuss with Jens a little bit more about TuneFoolery and what they're all about. So, but for now, I'm going to play a song called Just 'Cause I Can. I wrote this with Jordan Reynolds, and yeah, I don't need to explain it, but the lyrics are, just 'cause I can doesn't mean I should. So there you have it. Just 'cause I can doesn't mean I should. Just 'cause it shines doesn't mean it's good. Hit the road in my brand new Benz, the leather cool beneath my hands. Got a monthly plan, I'm out 50 grand. All my friends act so impressed. They tell me I'm killing it, but they know the truth, and all I have to lose. This is me at my worst, haunting me at my best. Just 'cause I can doesn't mean I should. Just 'cause it shines doesn't mean it's good. I don't know why I do this every time, but it seems I'm falling again. Just 'cause I can. I learned young not to play with fire, but I met you and you took me higher than a bird in flight. But something wasn't right, and I never should have even let you start. I always knew you'd break my heart like you break the rules. Yeah, you're so cool. Always me at my worst, haunting me at my best. Just 'cause I can doesn't mean I should. Just 'cause it shines doesn't mean it's good. I don't know why I do this every time. Always seems I'm falling again. Just 'cause I can. Oh, 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 oh. Just 'cause I can. Oh, oh, oh. Just when I think I ended it, you walk through my door again with a tempting grin. Shivers through my skin. I feel good when I'm with you. Hold me close and I start to lose myself in you. I get so confused. Maybe I'll finally realize. Just 'cause I can doesn't mean I should. Just 'cause it shines doesn't mean it's good. just 'cause I can. I just bring you guys back so I can hear the claps.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
That was beautiful.
Thanks. Hopefully you're seeing the comments. You got some really nice comments.
I just turned them on, yeah, and I can see them.
That's
Thanks so
awesome.
much.
So I'm going to turn it over to Kev for another song, and I'll put the donation link up. We are doing this show to benefit TuneFoolery, and after this next song, Jens will bring you in to chat more about what it is that you guys do and why people should support your amazing work. But for now, Kev, it's all you.
All right. Music means a lot to me. Throughout my life, I've used it for many different things. I live with schizophrenia, bipolar, and PTSD, and music has played different roles where it has, fed me or helped me cope with something or helped me express something that couldn't be done just in words. And I also write about what it's like to have these illnesses so that others can maybe relate to it and find some comfort in that. I wrote this song. It's called Before. And my illness has brought me to many, many lows in my life where I've had to start from scratch. And I've always used music to help motivate me and keep me going to build up. And this is one of those songs that I wrote just to help keep me fighting every day. It's called Before. Tired, but I've been tired before. It's not my first time. I made my way back from the floor, and the harder I fall, I forget what I'm fighting for, and I might be down, but I've been down before. Gonna be a fight, but I've been a fighter before. It's not my first time in battle, but now I am at war, where I get beaten down, battered and sore. I can be a fighter, where I've been done before. It might be dark, but I found my way before. No, I can't see no light, my feet recognize this floor, where it's weathered and worn. It's the path that I look for, and it's a damn hard time, but I was hard done before. And I might be down, but I've been down before. It's not my first time in battle, but now I am at war. And the harder I climb, the more I'm fighting for, and I might be tired, but I will climb until I sore. Yeah, and I might be tired, but I will climb until I soar. And I will climb until I soar. And I will climb until I soar. Yay!
That was
Thanks so
awesome.
much.
That's so inspirational. I love it. Oh. Yeah, that was really good, Kev. It's so cool to be able to express, like, do you find that it's easier to express in music what you're trying to say when you write songs than to like try to explain it to somebody?
I do. I feel like the music, often when I am performing or writing, I'm very visual in my mind, and so I'm visualizing a music video. That's why I close my eyes, and it really kind of helps me build up the song dramatically, you know. So I wish I could share the movie that's in my head with my audience.
That's really cool.
Someday, Elon Musk will figure it out.
Yes.
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. I mean, what's he doing anyways? Come on.
That sounds a little scary, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mind reading. That's a little, that's next level, but might not be that far away. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm Katie, and then we've got Kev playing music for you as well, and then Jens, who we're going to talk with for a little bit, take a break for the music, and just, I want to learn more about TuneFoolery. So, Jens, I guess, can you just tell us, I guess, like what your role is at the organization, and give us the elevator pitch, like who you
Sure.
are, who do you serve, and how? I know you touched on it already, but for some people that might have just tuned in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a lucky person to be the executive director of TuneFoolery, and I've been having this position for over 20 years. And TuneFoolery started actually all the way back in the 1994 at a mental health center in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where there were several people who came to this mental health center and who were musicians, but they might not have an instrument or didn't really know what to do with their music. And because what they were struggling with, it was a little hard to kind of get organized or focused. So TuneFoolery started as a way to really gather people who going through some serious mental health issues and see how, as a community, that support each other, because as most people in the music business know that can be a tough business to get into. So the idea was to create a community where we support each other and where we bring our musicians out and perform music mostly in the mental health community in the greater Boston area. And the beauty of that is that, like, it's a win-win. Our musicians find a purpose with their music and can do something to it, and people that we perform to get really inspired and see, like, wow, this is someone who has maybe been hospitalized at this psych unit or something like that. So over the years we have really kind of grown. We started out with 3 musicians, and today we are 60, but not everyone is actively performing. So sometimes people come to us through, the mental health system, or sometimes it's like someone like Kev, a singer-songwriter who heard about us and who really had a career or has a career, and who kind of, looking for a community and also for a different way of performing. So it's really a way of bringing purpose and meaning, because I think so many people that have long-term mental health issues, the focus is very much about what's wrong in life and how to deal with symptoms and all that. And in TuneFoolery, we really try to bring in what is working and what are the good things that goes on in life.
That's so cool. So you said, Kev kind of came on board as a singer-songwriter. And Kev, I know that you said that you volunteer a lot of time there. So can you talk about your role at TuneFoolery and also like what the most valuable or aspect of just being part of that community has been for you on the musician side of it?
Sure. I found throughout, I've been performing since I was about 13, and I've always struggled with my own personal career due to mental illness symptoms and not being stable enough to be consistent and having to go into hospitals and things like that. In TuneFoolery, when I found them about 6 years ago, they were very welcoming and understanding. Many of them had been through many of the same things I had and had the same issues. So when I was having a bad day, they understood that I couldn't be on stage today, even though, and people would back each other up. And so it gave me a sense of purpose that going into shelters and psych units to perform, because throughout my life I've spent a lot of time in both, in and out of both. And so that's where I learned how to play guitar, was in a psych unit, when I was a kid. And so to be able to be the one to bring music to those places means a lot to me. And they support me in so many ways. Since the pandemic, I've been doing, some more tech stuff and Zoomy stuff, which has been fun too, because I've been able to be more part of all the, interact more with the community, and I have a strong sense of community with these people. So they're super supportive of me as a person, me as a songwriter, and me as an advocate. It's been great.
I mean, community is everything. I love that TuneFoolery really emphasizes community and tries to foster that and build that, because you mentioned, Jens, that in the music world it can be tough to find that, and it's true. Like a lot of music, and I'm interested, Kev, if this is your experience too, but it's very hustle. It's the hustle culture, and you have to do everything all the time, and you have to, not only should you be performing all these shows, but you also should be supporting everyone and going to their shows all the time. And it's really, it's difficult to keep up with. It's one thing to like be present and try to be everywhere all the time, but it's another to actually connect with people and be able to find that community, that niche where you feel understood and seen. I think it's really cool that TuneFoolery is providing that community, maybe without, there's always going to be hustle, right? Like that's the music industry,
Sure.
but kind of making it, making it easier to access, I guess, that community. Find your people.
What's so great about TuneFoolery is they pay all their musicians for every show that they do, and they know that some people like me who I don't drive, and I live out, far away, but they help me get to gigs. And so I know when I book a show with them, this is pre-COVID when we were going all these crazy places and doing 360 shows a year, they help me get there and pick me up. They'll help. You don't have to bring your guitar, we'll bring one for you, and they just ease the stress of it for me, which the regular, Boston songwriter community, it's a very stressful, active community, and you got to be on the go, and that overwhelms me within a week, So I stay away from that, and TuneFoolery, they keep it nice and stress-free for me.
Yeah, I think to add there, what I have found so important over the years is to, I think sometimes for people that don't know so much about serious mental health issues, it's easy to think of someone is kind of down and out, and then hopefully something good happens, and then you're back again, so to say. But the truth is that for most people, it's going up and down over the years, and it's a lifelong struggle, and it's a lot to figure out what are the ways that keep people balanced, and that can change, and medication is a big part for a lot of people, and that can change how that is working. And sometimes people get really tired of side effects of medication and want to kind of work with something else around that. So we know all that, so people don't have to kind of pretend. Or if people say, like, I need to take a break from taking gigs right now and just take care of my mental health and find balance, or I might be homeless and need to focus on finding a place to live. And we said, that's okay, let us know what you're up to, and if we can be helpful in any way. And when you want to do gigs again, then come back. So that is the whole idea, that we want to kind of support each person's, growth and development in whatever pace that is working for them.
That's so amazing. I mean, I'm feeling so inspired just listening to you both talk about this, and because I have definitely seen kind of this, like you're talking about, it's not a quick fix ever, like it's a long process, and you're in it for the long haul with people, which is so beautiful and so important. And I think that that's really, really cool, because too often it's like, oh, here's something, okay, good luck. And so I love that you're kind of like, no, like, we're going to build relationships and help you through this.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're prioritizing the self-care too,
yes,
which is just really, really beautiful. So what do you need, like, as an organization right now, and especially in COVID, what are the resources that you need? Like, how, if people like me who are watching this and feeling inspired to, hey, I want to be part of what you're doing, like, what can we do to help?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you asking that. Well, if anyone can erase COVID from the planet Earth, that would be helpful. So we can get back and doing more gigs again. But since that is a little complicated, I think, one big part of what we try to do is also change the stigma that is related to mental health issues. And I think so much about, it's often a view, and I think a lot of charities are dealing with this, of thinking about us and them, so there are the people, some of us who have it together and have safety, and we would like to help those poor people who are, struggling with, whatever it is, addiction or poverty or whatever. And I have a little issue with that, because I think we're all one, we're all in it together, and who is on one side one day can be on the other side another day, and especially when it comes to mental health issues. So part of what we try to do is be out in the world and talking about, our story, our musicians talking about their stories, as a way to kind of just show that mental health issues are everywhere. And it is, like I said before, it's a lifelong struggle for a lot of people. But it doesn't mean that people can't do amazing things like music in our case. Yeah. So I think what we're always looking for, if people want us to come and kind of do what we're doing here, speak about what we're doing and bring some music. It can also be as, if someone has a birthday party and want to have some, because we have all kinds of music in TuneFoolery, everything from classical to rock music. If anybody wanted to kind of like background music or we are musicians for hire, but we're also happy to talk about our mission and what we try to do. So those are the main thing of kind of, and we can do that live, we can do that, these days on Zoom mostly, but or we can come into schools or to workplaces or whatever, and really kind of, speak a little about mental health issues.
Yeah, because I think it's so important for people who are going through something to be able to see other people either going through that too, or having come out on the other side, or still struggling with it, but yet able to share this beautiful part of who they are and have a successful, experience with music. And so I love that. I was going to say modeling, but it's not modeling. It's more like connecting with people.
Yeah.
Do you feel like go ahead. I have a question, but finish.
Okay. I was just going to say, again, some of the most amazing moments for me over the years has been, like I mentioned before, when we go play at a psychiatric hospital, someone, and so one of our musicians said that I used to be hospitalized here, and just kind of get that sense of the people who are, how much that means, that that this is not just an entertaining coming from the outside who can provide beautiful music, absolutely, but here's someone who walked in my shoes who now are sitting here playing for me. And I've seen that over the years, what impact that can have, because if you're hospitalized in a psychiatric hospital, you need any hope you can get, and to have someone come in who been there and walked in your shoes, I know that has been very inspiring for people, and that's exactly what we want to do.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Jens, what would you say to those who might be watching who are musicians and interested in becoming a member or getting more information?
Good point, Kev. You working for our
Check
PR
out the website,
department.
maybe. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely go to our website, which is TuneFoolery.org. TuneFoolery. Did I say that right? Yeah, TuneFoolery.org. But if you Google us, that's what you're gonna get, because it's nothing. There's nothing else that called something like that. And we are actually, we are always looking for musicians. Thanks for putting that up. And we have an audition process when people join us. And I think except for being a musician, we're also looking for people who identify as someone in mental health recovery. We're not interested in diagnosis or whether people are taking medication or not. It's more about, are you a person who live with a mental health issue and are willing to kind of bring that into, the community and sharing some of that when you go out and play. So check out our website and please reach out to us if you want to know more about who we are.
Yeah, you've been great to work with and talk with, so I would definitely say that you are accessible for anyone who has questions.
Thank you.
And wants to learn more. I was going to ask, when you were discussing, which someone commented in the chat, when you were talking about it's not us versus them, it's like we're all in this together, we're all one. And I love how you said, it could be, you could be feeling great today, and then tomorrow that could be you who's struggling and needing this support system. Because it's so true. And I was wondering, do you feel like COVID and this global pandemic and this kind of universal experience that we're all sharing together, although it is definitely different for each of us, do you feel like that has helped people kind of identify more with different struggles people face? Because I've heard a lot of people say throughout the course of the past couple years, I have increased anxiety, I have, increased whatever. And so I'm wondering if you have seen kind of more, I don't know if understanding is the right word, or, understanding, I guess. Have you noticed the difference?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting question. I mean, on the bigger scale, I think we live in a culture and a time that is not so well suited for people who are not closer to type A. I think it's, I mean, we see that if you just read about it, for example, young people and young adults these days, it's an epidemic with mental health issues going on in our country and all over, lots of parts of the world.
Just because of all the expectations, you think, like from such a young age?
I think that is one reason. I think this is a harsh culture that we live in, and if you're tough and everything is lined up for you in life, that's good. But I also work as a psychotherapist, and I come across that a lot. My feeling is that to diagnose people is one way to look at it, but I think most people that are struggling with mental health are just not a good fit for the world they live in, and it's, if it was another time and place, maybe they would thrive in a whole different way. So, but coming back to your question, I think the pandemic has kind of highlight a lot of different things for people. And I mean, for some introverts, this been an easier reality because you don't have to socialize and come up with excuses why you don't want to socialize. And for extroverts, it's hellish. But I hope that people can kind of see that. I see that both during the pandemic, but even before that, I see a change because I've been working in this field for over 25 years, that there is a more acceptance about mental health issues. I see that young people are much more out about it than it used to be, in the 90s when we started. And I find that hopeful. I think if we can start talking about mental health issues and that we struggle, that we don't have to pretend that we have it all together, that it's okay to have a rough day and feel like, I can't be on top of my game. Again, our culture is not encouraging that, but I hope that the more we accept that and the more we talk about our struggles, I think the more we normalize it.
And that
I
helps
have
everyone.
noticed. Yeah, I have noticed since quarantine that I hear the words self-care and things like that more often, and mental health awareness and people putting that before work, and that hasn't really been in the conversation pre-pandemic as much as it has been lately.
Yeah, so some silver lining, I guess.
Yes, yeah,
for all of us, even though it's been a difficult journey for sure, but hopefully it will lead us to a more compassionate and empathetic and understanding society.
And anytime we struggle with something that is challenging, it is an opportunity to learn something and grow, I think.
Absolutely. So this is Jens talking to us. He's the executive director of TuneFoolery, tunefoolery.org, and we do have a donation link for tonight's show. Your donation will support Kev and I as artists, and will also support TuneFoolery. So, Jens, do you want to tell us, what are you doing with these donations? When people support you, what does that do for you?
Yeah, so two main things. So one is that we can, as I mentioned before, most of what we usually doing is to send out our musicians to play at different places. And since we pay our musicians for everything they do, there is a cost for every gig they do, and a lot of venues can't afford to do that. So donations to us allows us to go out and play music at, hospitals and shelters and other places. The other thing that it supports is that we have a pretty evolved music education program. Most of our musicians are low income and couldn't really afford to take regular music lessons. So we raise money so people can, pay $2 or something like that for weekly music lessons, because we want to help people become the best musicians they can be. So those are some other things that donations to TuneFoolery can support.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to join Kev and I on this show. We're going to let Kev, did you have anything else that you wanted to make sure that you said or that you asked Jens about TuneFoolery before we let Jens go and enjoy the show?
No, Jens, you did a good job.
Thank you, Kev.
Yeah, it was honestly, I feel so inspired that you're doing the work that you're doing, and I'm just really excited to learn more about this and to hopefully be a small part of, letting people know what you're all about and kind of that ongoing discussion about mental health that you talked about. So I'm honored that you said yes to be part of this, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much for asking.
Thank you for what you're doing and bring us in here. It means a lot for us to be part of this, and when we can be out in the world and talk about what we're doing. So I'm happy that you are doing this and that you try to pull in people here who has different aspects of what they do with their music. So thank you, Katie.
Thank you. And just for anyone watching, thank you so much for everyone who's tuning in live. I know some of you are tuning in later, and I just want to make sure that you can donate at any time.
Yes.
This link does not expire. So even if you're watching this, 2 weeks after this show aired, that's fine. You can donate. Just put a note that this was the TuneFoolery episode on September 30th, and then I will know what to do with those funds. So you can donate anytime. And thank you again, Jens. We'll let you go, and you can enjoy the show from your couch or wherever.
I will. Thank you. Okay.
Bye. Well, Kev, thank you so much for, you actually suggested TuneFoolery as the organization for us to support tonight. And I'm just grateful because I learned a lot just through that little conversation. So thanks for bringing that part of it together.
Thanks for having me and Jens on. Jens is a great guy, and I love the organization.
Yeah, that's so amazing. So for everyone tuning in, we're going to keep going with a little bit of music, and then Kev and I are also going to chit-chat more about your experience as a musician and just in life and that kind of thing. So, but I guess I'll play a song, and then I'll bring you back. All right. Okay. So all of you tuning in, you are at the first virtual live stream show of Let the Music Set You Free 2021 edition. So thanks for supporting this series. I'm going to be doing this every month with different guests, and so I'm really excited about it. And if you like it, then you can follow Let the Music Set You Free official on Facebook or Instagram and kind of see what we're up to and what other shows we'll be doing. So thanks for being on the first launch show. Yes, Paul, these are my Starlight earrings. That's right. I was hoping somebody would notice. I'm going to play a brand new song tonight that I've never played for anybody, not even my parents, which is a big deal because usually I play them everything. This is a brand new song. It's about my overthinking problem. Basically, I can get really dramatic and I go through this whole overthinking thing. I get dramatic, but then I come out of it and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I just needed to vent and get that off my chest. So this is kind of a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek song about that. It's called The Rabbit Hole. Oops. Sorry. There we go. The rabbit hole's the place I go, and I just need to think. It's fictional, I know, but I just need this trip. Don't try to talk me out of it, I'm going in alone. I'm getting so creative, digging down this rabbit hole. And I can disappear for a minute to a crazier world than where I'm living. And when I come out of it, they all won't seem so mad, and it all won't seem so bad. Reality can be a wonderland again. I go, and I just need to shrink and watch my problems grow and grow until they swallow me. Some say it's not great therapy, but I tend to disagree. I'm getting great perspective the deeper that I dig, and I can disappear for a minute to a crazier world than where Wonderland.
Yay!
World premiere.
That was great. That's the new one, huh?
That one's brand new. I actually wrote it, I think I wrote it a few months ago, but then I just kind of forgot about it and like never played it for anyone. And then I was like, I think I want to play this song because every now and then it will come back to me.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
it's that overthinking thing where it's like, I just have to like do this and get it out of my system and then I'm fine, you know?
Yeah. Check it off, done, and then I can move on.
Right. I just need to think of all the worst case scenarios, just let myself go there and then we'll be good. Paul always coming in clutch with the emojis for my song titles.
That's funny.
All right, what you got for us, Kev?
Okay, I'm going to do a slower one. As I said, living with mental illness, I've been homeless a lot. I was first homeless when I was about turning 17, and then all the way throughout until a couple years ago. I've been in and out of shelters, and that's why I love playing at the shelters. And this is a song about that. It's called Downtown Crossing. Lives on Winter in Washington, outside Macy's and Filene's. The city bench has become his bed, vacant doorways in the rain. And at sunrise, the officers come by, send him on his way to walk his route for change and food, from the commons to the back bay. In his mind he visits better times. He hums a song to take him there. Childhood dreams and random fantasies, memories of those who've cared. His dad and mom, siblings moved on. He once fathered a son, and of all the things he's had in life, he still longs for just that one. And I've seen you pass by me before, and in your eyes so quick to ignore. Were you afraid that I would start talking? Please could you spare some change? 'Cause I live here at Downtown Crossing, wishing the world would go away. Days go by, becoming months and years, and so little has become routine, remaining friends that only he can see. Pass the time riding trains, and days grow longer till they never end, when there is nowhere to go, and when there's nothing but a hollow glance There's so little living left to know. And I've seen you passed by me before. In your eyes, they were quick to ignore. Were you afraid that I would start talking? Please, could you spare some change? 'Cause I live here at downtown crossing, wishing the world would go away. He lives on Winter in Washington, outside Macy's and Filene. Thanks so much. I know that's a bit of a heavy song.
No, that was so powerful. Like, I really, really loved that. And it was so personal. When did you write that? After the fact or while you were going through it?
I wasn't homeless in the time that I wrote it. I've been homeless prior to and after. But in the song, I was kind of reflecting, like, what's it going to be like when I'm 60 or 70, you know, trying to do this, you know? And hopefully not. But in the song, I kind of reflect on what it'll be like when I'm even, you know, older than I am now. And still struggling with that, which I don't feel like I'm struggling with that in my life anymore.
So obviously you've come so far, and what was like, is there one thing that you feel like, yeah, that thing really helped me out of this?
A diagnosis. I finally got diagnosed when I was about 35, but I began having symptoms of schizophrenia, PTSD, and mood disorders when I was 10.
Wow.
And and I grew up, you know, when I was 13, I spent years in psych hospitals, and my whole life kind of cycled through psych hospitals and homeless shelters and stuff. And the sport that I have now, that's not an issue, but when I finally got diagnosed and I felt like, oh, it's not me, I'm not a bad person, my brain just works differently, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people who are undiagnosed and they go through life, they just feel like they're not good people. You know, they just make bad choices and are lazy or don't fit in. And when you get that diagnosis that says, this is what the issue is and here's what we can do about it, it gives a new sense of freedom, and kind of, I feel like that's when I started living, you know?
That's amazing. Yeah, that's so powerful. And so much of it is just knowing who you are, like you're saying, and part of that is a diagnosis, and to be able to say, oh, this is why, you know, it's nothing, it's not me, it's that I actually have this thing that I need to learn how to live with, I guess.
Yeah, recovery is from mental illness. It's not a place you get to, it's a journey, you know, and every day you learn more about yourself and how your brain works and how to best fit it into your life. And you do things differently. Like, I'm not out there doing gigs, I'm playing at other places and doing other things, but I'm still fulfilled and being a productive, you know, musician and person for other people. When on my desk I have a little quote that says, be who you needed when you were younger. And it really motivates me, to, when I was younger, I could have used more education myself on what is mental illness, you know, and I was scared to say that I saw things that weren't there because I thought in the movies, you know, that's not a good thing. But had I been more educated, then I would have felt better about myself and been diagnosed earlier and had a, perhaps a different life. But I like to try to be that person for other people.
That's awesome. I love your outlook, and I love that you're kind of using your life and your music as a way to empower other people in your shoes or who might be experiencing similar things. Did you always know that you loved music? Like, have you been playing forever, or when did you start?
Like I said earlier, I learned kind of how to write songs and sing and play guitar when I was in a psych unit, about 13. My brother would drive up and teach me guitar, and there was a counselor on the unit who would teach me guitar and introduce me to people like Cat Stevens and stuff like that. And it just took off from there, and I just began writing and performing, but going in and out of hospitals and disappearing from music scenes quite frequently.
But you've managed to always keep playing, always keep writing, and always keep coming back to it. I think that's been my experience with music too, is I've gone through periods of time for reasons different than yours where I have not played or something, but I always find myself coming back to it. It's like I can't get away from it, It's like just who I am. I have to write and I have to express myself through music.
Me too. I have to create. I don't just do music. I like to create visual art and writing and just anything that I can do to just make something new. I really enjoy.
You just
especially
shared
out
a
of the box
beautiful.
things.
You just shared a beautiful art piece that you made on social media.
Thanks, yeah.
So if people want to check out Kev, you're on Instagram and Facebook, and I think you shared it in both places, right? Or just Instagram?
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
Instagram, all those socials, yeah.
Yeah, so follow Kev, and then you can see all the creative projects that you're up to. So thanks for sharing that with us. That was a really powerful and personal life experience for you to share with us, and it was really, really special.
Thanks. Many of my songs kind of deal with those things and talk about those harder symptoms. They're not all upbeat and uplifting, and but I love sharing them, and I think some people can really relate to them and feel a little comforted.
Sorry, I dropped something
You're
way
good.
over on the other side of my set. It doesn't have to be uplifting to be extremely powerful. So I'm really happy that you shared that with us.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my son who's watching. What's up, Ty?
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Your dad's so cool. All right, I guess I don't know how to follow that, but I'm gonna try. Thanks again to everyone who's tuning in and hanging out with us on this Thursday night. This is Let the Music Set You Free, and tonight Kev and I are playing music for you, also to raise awareness and funds for an organization called TuneFoolery. If you can't donate to support the show, it's totally fine. We're just glad that you're here. So sit back, relax, enjoy. If you do feel moved to donate, there's a link in the description of the video, and that will support myself, Kev, and TuneFoolery. So either way, thanks so much for hanging with us. I'm going to play a song that I co-wrote with my friend Lindsay Sampson. And this is a song that I actually haven't played in a while, so I wanted to bring it back. It's called Wind and Waves, and it's kind of about just one of the lines is, when you feel like you're breaking, you're actually making all things new. So. Nothing lasts forever, brick and mortar getting severed by these storms. Nothing lasts forever, this old heart is getting weathered in these storms. These old rocks tell a story, sturdy bones upon the sand. A shadow of a former glory, guiding travelers back to land. What is it that you have seen with worn and tired eyes? Years and years of
standing tall have turned your songs to sighs. All the winds and waves are shaping, all the earth beneath you shaking. When it feels like you are breaking, you are making all things new, all things new. Beating waves, heavy water, darkness heaves upon the shore. Every cloud strikes relentless to wash away all you were before. The strongest storms have healing power, drench you and restore. When you break, that's when you make the room for something more. All the winds and waves are shaping, all the earth beneath you shaking. When it feels like you are breaking, you are making all things new. Yeah, the wind and waves are shaping, and the earth beneath you shaking. When it feels like you are breaking, you are making all things new, all things new, all things new, all things new. The strongest storms have healing power, drench you and restore. Reawaken broken pieces, brighter than before.
Thanks.
I was playing along. You couldn't see it. That was great.
Aw, man, that's what I missed a lot about live. I was going to say what I miss most about live shows, but there's a lot of things I miss about live shows. I'd done some, but like obviously not as many as usual, and I miss just being able to like play along with someone's song or sing harmonies or
Yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that that you were able to enjoy that in your little studio room.
That was great. Yep.
Thanks. I wrote that one with Lindsay Sampson. We were like, let's write about a lighthouse. And I was like, ooh, I feel like this is a great metaphor. Take it away, Kev.
All right. This is a more upbeat song. It's called I've Got Dreamin' to Do. Oh, both these roads in worn-out shoes carry my load, but not nothing to lose. Long forgotten miles, juryless trials wore away and weathered my blues. Now I've got nothing left but dreaming to do. All these dreams, I do believe they were born to me while I was lost at sea. And I hold no shame for what became. I've got no chains holding me. I push on like nothing's wrong, 'cause I've got dreaming to do. Say where I am and where I've been. Yeah, I've been in love, I've been in sin, but these eyes are wise enough to find dreams again. Hard living follows behind. Keep stepping time to my state of mind. Mocking the call of any dream at all. Seeking to break me, make me fall. Still I push on like nothing's wrong, 'cause I got dreaming to do. I hold no shame for what became. I've got no chains holding me. I push on like nothing's wrong, 'cause I've got dreaming to do. I got dreaming to do. Me ain't no county too. We got some dreaming to do.
I love
Thanks.
that. That was so good. I really love that. Is that recorded anywhere?
No, it's, I wrote it a while ago. I have recordings of it, but I haven't released it yet.
You should. I really like that. It was really fun.
Thanks.
So I think Kevin and I probably have enough time to like each do one more song, but I wanted to chat with you a little bit before we each do our last song, if that's okay, Kev.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So you obviously told us some of your personal challenges that you've been through, and then I also wanted to talk about music specifically because you're an amazing songwriter. You have been doing this music thing for a long time, and obviously that is so fun to do music, speaking as a fellow songwriter, but it also comes with its challenges. So what are some of the challenges that you have faced along the way, and I guess what kind of keeps you going, and how have you kind of gotten through those?
Those are great questions. I've found that the stress of a music career, the typical music career, is too stressful for me to be stable. I generally try to keep my stress level down, and so what I have done instead, I've been playing since I was a kid, and kind of dropping in and out and not being successful or consistent for years, and just thinking that I was the issue. And after getting diagnosed, I realized that I just need to go about it a different way. I need to carve a different path. And so what I've done is just keep an eye on other people who are doing that and kind of generate ideas of, well, maybe I'll try online streaming. Maybe I'll try doing this at shelters. And it just keeps me creating and going in a direction that's good for my mental health. And I figure as long as I'm going in that direction, all the things, the music and the art and the volunteering and the work is all going towards me and my recovery, then the money will fall eventually. That'll just come in time. But it gives me a sense of purpose, and that's what keeps me going every day, is feeling that I might put something out there that helps someone the way others have helped me.
That's
but
awesome.
I would also notice that I found a specific challenges that with mental illness, specifically with bipolar, that you would be in the high of the show, you'd have a great show. And I'm sure other musicians without bipolar have experiences that after the show and the long drive home, it is very hard. And then when you kind of throw in voices and dialogues of schizophrenia and stuff while you're driving home, I had to stop doing that. You know, I couldn't do those shows where I drive home anymore, and actually stop driving altogether. So that was something that impacted my music career, and not being able to drive takes away a lot of shows, you know.
Yeah. Which
Takes
is
away a lot
like,
of opportunities.
but then you got hooked up with TuneFoolery, which is amazing because
Right.
you said that they actually will provide you with rides to shows and things like that, which is so cool.
Exactly, and I think one of their stats was, I think last year, that they did over 360 shows in the year.
That's amazing.
I didn't do them all, but they give me a lot
Why?
of work, and so it's
Yeah.
really nice.
I love what you said about keep creating, because as someone trying to make it in the music industry, whatever making it means, that's why I put it in air quotes,
Yeah.
it can get overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes, like when I get discouraged or I feel stressed or overwhelmed, oftentimes I'm like, wait, I haven't actually been spending much time doing the thing that is the reason I'm doing this, which is creating. And that's probably why I'm feeling this. Like I'm focusing too much on the business side or the email side or the whatever, and not enough just like make sure that I'm playing music, make sure that I'm writing songs. And that's why one of the reasons why I'm excited to be doing a bunch of shows coming up. I'm like these Let the Music Set You Free shows and just some different streaming stuff, because it keeps me playing, you know, and it's like that's the heart of it, right? That's why we do this. And like I love too that you said, hopefully, you know, something that you put out there could inspire somebody else. And I think that's so true. I mean, the power of music is amazing, and you just never know who or when. I mean, it could be a day after you release something, it could be 10 years after you release something. You might not
Exactly.
even ever know, right, who you impacted. So I think that's really powerful and really special.
Yeah, I do believe the more you create, the more you can create. So I just try to, and it's not always with guitar or music, but if I can draw a picture, or I'll do this thing where I just kind of think of these crazy out of the box ideas that I don't think anyone would really understand, but I just go do them and throw them up on the internet, and it just gets the creative juices flowing, and there's no limit to you can't use up your creativity. The more you use it, the more you're gonna have.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that. That's awesome. So part of my mission with Let the Music Set You Free has always been to, you know, share kind of my story and stories of musicians like you, who are, you know, we're following our passion, or like your song, right? We're dreaming. We're just keeping dreaming every day, whatever that means. And obviously not everyone in the world has a passion or a dream to make music, but everyone has, you know, things inside of them that they know move them, that they get excited about, but it can be scary sometimes to actually take the leap and like go after those things that you want for yourself. And so do you have any advice or something that you might say to someone who wants to pursue their passions, but they're just feeling like scared or nervous or not sure where to start?
Oh, that's an interesting question. As someone who has always been super impulsive to try new things, that hasn't really been an issue for me. But I do play with a lot of people who get nervous to play. And really, if you want to just, and I enjoy doing things that I'm bad at. Different types of, I'll pick a medium and just that I'm bad at, and I'll try to do it. And being bad at it is so freeing. I'll notice also when I play, if I make a mistake on the guitar, it makes me giggle when I'm on a show, because I'm like, I can't believe I made that mistake. But I often giggle while I'm playing guitar, and making mistakes is wonderful. And a musician, Victor Wooten, would say there are no mistakes, you know, there are no wrong notes. And so just trying, and the way I got to be able to play guitar was to just pick it up and start being really bad for a long time. And I couldn't sing in key, but I would get up on stage and just mumble and put my hair in front of my face. And but over time you figure out stuff, and it just becomes a part of you, you know.
I think
Everyone's bad at first.
That's great. Like, that's such great advice. Just be okay with being bad. I mean, they say you have to write, I don't know what the stat is, like 100 songs before you might write a good one or something. So and you have to be okay with being silly and laughing at yourself with anything that you do, right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being here.
I'll
Kev.
intentionally write like a bad, corny song or something like that just to get it out of me, you know.
Right. Yeah, you got to get those out for sure. I think we have time for, I'll play one more and then you can play one more. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. This is Let the Music Set You Free. We're doing this to benefit an organization called TuneFoolery, who spoke earlier about what they do. So if you're just tuning in, I recommend watching the replay to see what they're all about. This is a free show, no pressure, but if you feel moved to support the cause, the donations are going to myself, Kev, and TuneFoolery. So thanks to everyone who's been doing that too. And all right, let's see. What am I going to play? I think I'm going to end on, this one's not recorded either, but I wrote it in the spring, and it's a song called Giants, and it's a song about just, for myself, I often make things much bigger in my mind than they are in reality, and things can feel really difficult, like more difficult than they actually will be once I do them. Things can feel impossible, but then it's actually fine. So this song is kind of about that. It's called Giants.
Your sweatshirt falling off my shoulders. It's too big, but then again, it always was. When did I become so small, living in your shadow? I don't feel the space at all. Feels like I've been swallowed. Don't take too much space, my mind said. Shrink so I don't risk anything. Better to be safe than to be sorry. Well, I'm sorry, I don't feel safe around giants. Maybe it's time I come out of hiding. Acting small just made me good at lying. Just so you could think that you're the giant. Your color are so powerful. Yeah. Giants are make believe, they're always bigger in your mind. Giants are make believe, you can beat them if you try. 'Cause giants are just make believe.
That was great.
Thank you.
Kayla
Thanks,
says,
everybody.
please release this. It resonates so much. Yeah.
That's so nice. I really, I do hope to record that one. It's definitely,
It's beautiful.
it's, you know, Kev, like when you have those songs that you play that you're just like, it's like, you just feel like you like need to sing it because you just resonate with it so much. And, it's just like all the feels, like that song just feels, it feels like a battle song to me or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it is very.
I declare, yeah, that
Yes.
like
Testify.
just make believe, like we got this, you know. So, all right, I'm gonna turn it over to Kev Moore.
All
Play
right.
our final song, serenade us out. Well, we'll come back and we'll say bye to y'all, but
This is a song called Back to Boston. And I wrote it while I was taking a series of Greyhound buses from Fort Benning, Georgia to Boston. And I was kind of, well, the song explains itself. It's a story song. I don't want to tell you the story and then, spoiler. So this is called Back to Boston. Rode a crowded old highway, heading north back to Boston. On a Greyhound bus with strangers, and every stop the faces change. And the states all look the same, and all the same signs, different names, and I'm headed back home, where I always begin. Where your mind can't help but wonder what you're headed home to. Of all the things still to say, to show you're not the same old you. And it's been this way before, and every stop seems just like the one before. But I'm headed back to Boston, where I always begin. I wonder who'll be standing there, watching and waiting at the station for me. Those of you who have gone, may you bless the places that I may never see. There's something about your family to help ease the things gone wrong. Good friends at home waiting, who missed you while you're gone. And the sky is turning blue, just like Miss Nature, like she never knew that I simply didn't make it. I'm going back to try again. There ain't nothing like your hometown. There ain't no place like Boston. Well, it's not too big and it's not too loud. It's just a place you get lost in. And the sky's turning blue, just like Miss Nature, like she never knew that I simply didn't make it. Going back to try again. Yes, I'm headed back to Boston, where I always begin.
I love that song.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
And I really was excited when you rhymed Boston with Lostin.
With Lostin, yeah, that
I was
was
like, that's good. I love, like, yeah, that's good. That's a creative rhyme. Is that one recorded?
No.
Come on, Kev.
I know. I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us at the very first virtual Let the Music Set You Free show of this series. I'm going to be doing this on the last Thursday of every month. But tonight was really, really fun. Kev, thank you for being my first guest. If you want to support tonight's show, whether you're watching this live or if you're tuning in a week or a month from now, no matter when, this donation link is not going to expire. So if you'd like to support Kev and I as musicians and also support the organization that we're here for tonight, which is TuneFoolery, TuneFoolery.org, you can donate at this link on the screen or the link in the description of the video. But no pressure, I always like to say, but if you do want to, that is how to do it. And also there are free ways to support us. So, you know, musicians live a interesting career and it can be challenging, and honestly, like, one of the best ways you support us is just by doing things like this, coming to our shows, following us on social media. We're both, Kev is Kev G Moore Music and I'm Katie Dobbins Music. We're on all
I'm
the
just
platforms.
Kev G Moore. Kev G
Oh.
at Kev G Moore. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
Just
Yep, that's
kidding.
good.
At Kev G Moore. But yeah, so follow us on social media. It's free. It's easy. It seems like a small thing, but it helps us reach more people too. And Kev, you also have a Patreon page as well.
I
Yes?
do.
Okay.
Yes, and in my Patreon, people who have joined my Patreon gain access to all my recordings, even my home rough drafts. When I write a song, I record it, throw it up there. You get to hear the first drafts and all that, all the way to full production before it's released. So,
Cool.
just Google my name, Kev G Moore.
Yep. So Kev and I
But-
both have Patreon. So if you really fell in love with us and you're like, I want to really be on the VIP squad and hear all these exclusive behind the scenes things that no one else gets to hear, then Patreon is the place that you can do that. Did I miss anything, Kev? Should we tell them anything else?
No, I want to thank you though, Katie, for having me on here. I've had such a blast. Thanks to everybody in the chat. I have, all of that you're saying here, and I don't want to go through all your names because I'll miss people, but I really appreciate all the great comments that you've been giving me, and thank you for having me on to talk about TuneFoolery, which means a
Oh
lot
my
to me.
gosh.
Yeah.
It was really incredible to hear. Like, thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing your story and your music and everything. Like, it was really, really awesome to hear, and just like, not awesome's the wrong word. It was powerful and inspirational. So
I like awesome. You can use awesome.
it was awesome too. But John Shea says to send him music. So John Shea runs, for anyone who doesn't know, if you like independent music and you like discovering new stuff, John Shea runs a radio show in Boston on WATD called Almost Famous, and it's a weekly show. So Kev, he says, send me music. And John Shea
Great,
was the
yeah.
voice of the intro video, so I don't know if anyone recognized him, but he did a good job. All right, well, thank you all. I never know how to end these things, so we're just going to say so much love and gratitude to you all. Thank you, Kev. Thank you for
Thank you so much, Katie.
Such a great
Thank you,
first show.
everybody.
Yeah.
And
Have a good night,
yeah.
everybody. Bye.